Hey guys, come play me time again. So we're in Moroni, and this is really good, not only just for this time of year, but to finish up the Book of Mormon. It's perfectly put. And, there's many times we've been over, well, anyway, Moroni 1 through 6, but it's amazing that it's this time of year that we get to go through this lot of scriptures. And I think it's very apropos, or appropriate, if you want put it in a more everyday term. This is the gospel essentials, really, of living gospel. Yes, it talks about organised church and why it's important to have that, and we'll get to that in chapter 6. But more importantly, it gives us what you need to administer in the Church of Jesus Christ. Whether it's Latter-day Saints, whether it's Book of Mormon times, whether it's New Testament times, whether it's ancient times. And remember, ancient times had different ways of administering because the atonement hadn't yet happened. So this is post-atonement. Here's what you're supposed to do. Now, some of this absolutely is given by Paul in the New Testament, and definitely is a little in some other books in there, and then it's hinted a little bit hinted to in Revelation, but mostly Revelation is John having his vivid descriptive ways of putting the end of the world, which can be interpreted many, many different ways, and is a rabbit hole to study. Fascinating, don't get me wrong, because I love it too. I love it. I'm interested in it. Moroni, though, puts things that we actually need. These are the things we need. It matters not how, he puts it exactly how it is. It's not complicated at all. You can study it, but you don't need to deep dive it. You can understand it just by reading it. And he said, as we discussed last week, that he said he's apologetic that he's weak in writing. And again, we would all say, but thank you, because we understand you. I can't wait to hear him talk, because he said we're mighty in speech. So I'm like, bring that on. But in the meantime, let's just get into it, because I already just talked 2 minutes about how awesome Moroni is. Moroni 1, firm resolve. He's having this time of okay, I'm going to write for the benefit of the Lamanites, or for those that come after, because, no one here wants to listen to me. They're all trying to kill me. And so he says, after making a bridging of the plates of the people of Jared, he's like, I haven't yet as perished, and I make not myself known to the Lamanites, lest they should destroy me. So, for behold, he says in verse 2, this is chapter 1, for behold, their wars are exceedingly fierce among themselves, and because of their hatred they put to death every Nephite that will not deny the Christ. So there's obviously still some Nephites alive, but they're basically turning to being Lamanitish, or they're dead. So think about, first off, what choice would you make? I'll take death, because I'm not going to deny Christ. He's a firm resolve. And in verse 3, and I, Moroni, will not deny the Christ. And I'm like, thank you, because I wouldn't either. I would never. I could never. Some of my behaviors maybe not being pleasing to Christ, if we put it that way. But I would not deny his existence. Can't. I just couldn't. Like Joseph Smith said, I can't lie, and they would know I'm lying, and I would know I'm lying, and no, I can't do it. He says, wherefore I wander whithersoever I can for the safety of my own life. So he's trying to stay alive. And I guess at some point he just doesn't. Because he hides this up and goes. Whether he's translated or whether he dies, whether he gets killed, we don't know yet, but we will one day. I hope it was pleasant for him, because this is very unpleasant. So I hope he had a nice, peaceful, went in his sleep, or it happened quickly, because Moroni deserves some grace there. He deserved that. And verse 4, he says, wherefore I write a few more things contrary to that which I had supposed, for I had supposed not to have written any more, but I write a few more things, that perhaps they may be of worth unto my brethren the Lamanites. And thank you, Moroni, because boy have they, in some future day, according to the will of the Lord. And they have. So we can look at this. What's your firm resolve? He's just stated his firm resolve. He's not going to deny Christ. And it's not a life he thought he was going to have. I don't think any of our lives really are lives we thought we were going to have. Mine's definitely not. Turned out that way. I thought I'd be dead by the time I was 30. I still wonder how I'm about to turn 50. Like, when did that happen? It's not what I had thought. I wanted to get married and settle and have kids and just be a good mum and live a life. And I've had none of that. So I've lived a life, but it's been none of that. And yet it's been good in so many ways and different ways. So I had not supposed, and neither had Moroni. He said, I had not supposed that I would still be here. And I will not deny Christ. Why? Because Christ is just, it's contrary to everything I believe. It's just not there. So the other example I can put in here would be Peter, is to think, and I think this has been said by a few, or will be said. I've already heard it from one. David Butler said it. But I would say a few people would liken it to Peter, and that after Christ had spoken this big, this is what it takes to live my gospel, and they all left, a lot of them, like most left, he turned to his disciples and said, are you going to leave me too, And Peter's like, where are we going to go? You're everything. You're the bread, you're the life, you're everything. You're living water. We're not going anywhere. It might be tough. It might be seemingly hard, and yet we know in the end it is better for us, so we're staying. So that's why I would not deny Christ. And so, I wrote in my scriptures there that I will not let my heart fail. I will not deny Christ. And why? Because Christ has not failed me. And the last few days, I felt like he's failed me, but I know he hasn't. No, I didn't want to cry today. I see I got good wall paint on. It's like, nope, solid, waterproof. But I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it because the things I really need in life aren't happening. And the things that I struggle with and are having a really hard time getting results on are not happening. And it's hard, and it's going to continue to be hard for a very long time, and it might be a very long, painful death for me. And I don't want that. I wanted to go quickly like I wish for Moroni. But, whatever it is, I know the Lord won't fail me. There'll be solutions, there'll be ways. He has not failed me yet, and there's been many times where it looks like he's going to, but he doesn't. He comes through every single time, and if I look back on the last year, and we're not even up for the year yet, if I look back on the last year, there are so many times, big times, little times, times that I wouldn't have even equated with God coming in or with Jesus stepping in, and I can see that yes, they have, that has led me to where I am in the unique position I'm in, which is weird and frustrating at the same time, but it's also quite a beautiful thing. And the amount of support and love that I have, things like this is really weird. I have a firm resolve, God will not fail me, Jesus will not fail me, and that's why I will not deny them. I had a birthday card arrive yesterday. My birthday's in March. I don't know where this thing had been, but it arrived yesterday. It was post-dated 20th of February, so it should have got here around my birthday. But I'm like, maybe, just maybe I had support on my birthday from my cousin, and I had a good birthday, as you guys would have seen if you've been around here this long on my Insta. And maybe, just maybe, he kept this card for a day that I really needed it, to know that I had friends. And then I had another friend reach out, and there's no way to deny he does not fail us, and he will not. So my firm resolve, a life I had not thought of, I will not deny Christ, because he has not failed me. And I will not let my heart fail me. I will keep the courage to keep going, because I know he will not fail me. Okay, so I'm going to compose myself. But what of Moroni's words here of worth to you? This is a really long one. I'm sorry I've gone on. What of Moroni's words here of worth to you? So that's my firm resolve. That was his firm resolve. And I bet he had many moments like this too. So I'm going to compose myself, and we're going to go over to chapter 2. I'll see you there.